I don't know. Okay. Everybody, welcome back to our channel and welcome to another episode of Motorhome Monday.
So this week we're talking about, if you guys remember from last Motorhome Monday, our day one trip and all of our adventures, getting to, I forgot where we stayed on our day one trip. Anyway, we're gonna move past all that.
It's all a blur.
The whole purpose of our trip was to get to Athens, Texas. And one of the things that we learned on the first half of our trip that is going to change the way we travel from here on out is we need to really limit our travel days, because we went way too far, way too fast on our travel days. We were driving for 8 hours a day, doing way too many miles, and one thing I learned is I need to really slow down. Just because the speed limit is 75 doesn't mean that our nerves, both of our nerves, can handle,
And the dogs.
75 miles per hour. So I've had some conversations with a lot of fellow RVers, both in Athens, Texas, and we'll talk about that here in a second, but also with other friends of ours, and time to cool it down a little bit and drive no more than maybe 60, 65 miles per hour tops. Let us know, those of you guys that are out there traveling with a motorhome, what's your optimum speed as you're driving down the highway? So, all right, so all of that to say that the reason we went to Athens, Texas was that I was gonna go take the National RV Institute of America and RVIA National RV Training Center. Anyway, I was getting my registered RV technician training. So I went through the program. It was a week and a day, and I am officially a registered RV technician, but we will talk more about that next week, so we can spend some time talking to you guys about how all that went down, what's involved and stuff like that. As well as I will do a full review on one of our Friday videos on the Texan RV Park, where it is actually located on the campus of the National RV Institute.
Okay, so we were at the Texan RV Park for the whole week so that Jonathan could attend his training and get his certificate. And like he said, we're going to talk about that in next week's Motorhome Monday. We're going to delve deep into the class and the costs and all of that. But part of the class is, if you're going to stay there, is you stay at the Texan RV Park. And the first day we got there, it was sunny and it was nice. It was chilly, but we both love that. So the rest of the week it rained every single day that we were there, which was fine because I ended up having a stomach bug when we got there. So I was fine with, he was gone, 8-9 hours a day at the class, and I was just chilling with the dogs in the RV, and I was happy to do it because I didn't feel well anyway. So on the Wednesday night that we were there, it had stopped raining and he was back from class, so we took the dogs for a walk. And we were walking away from our RV. We were probably, like 50 yards from our RV maybe. And there was another section with RVs. And there was a guy there. We saw one guy on the right coming out with his little dog. And he kind of went by us, and then our dogs and his dog barked at each other, and he went around the other way, We
Doing
went
what dogs do.
Yeah. So we went we kept walking up the road. He went the opposite way, and we kept walking up the road. I saw out of the corner of my eye on the left-hand side that there was a pit bull that was coming out of a fifth wheel by us. And the guy, the owner of the dog, was trying to, it looked like, and it happened so fast, but it looked quickly like he was trying to grab the dog. Just that quick, the dog took off towards us and full speed towards us. Now, I had Scout on his leash and harness. Jonathan had Pixel and Flash on their harnesses and leash. So I immediately, because I had Scout. So I picked up Scout and turned my back this way as the dog was running towards me. The dog jumped on me, bit me, not through my clothes or anything, but like bit you. You know, you feel the pressure. His teeth didn't like go through my clothes or anything. Bruised my elbow, jumped on my back to try to get Scout. And mind you, I'm 5'11". This is it's a pretty good sized pit bull. And he jumped up on my back, so I ended up with bruises on my back. I ended up with a bruised right arm. Scout was fine. And I don't know, I didn't see what Jonathan was doing at the time because I was literally bear hugging Scout and holding him up as high as I could to keep the dog, and the dog kept trying to jump on me. And then I didn't see what he...
So basically, once the dog realized that he wasn't going to get to Scout, he turned his attention to Pixel and Flash. Flash was not really having it, but Pixel, she is definitely an alpha. And she kind of was like defending her two brothers. And she went after him and was not going to back down. But so I was able to get the dog by the back of the neck, basically where the collar is. I was able to grab him, or her, I can't remember.
Yeah, I remember.
Put him down and hold him down.
No, not put him down like in a mean way.
No, but just hold him down.
Like hold him down.
Basically, and those of you guys that have had dogs before, like if your dog gets out of control, it's kind of like that's where they know, like, hey, I'm in control. So I grabbed him, I held him down a little bit. But the funny thing was, as I screamed, no, down, the dog responded in a way that I was not ready for.
Yeah, he wasn't acting aggressive.
No, he was completely...
When Jonathan grabbed him and yelled at him, he stopped.
Yeah, he completely stopped. He laid down. He rolled onto his back.
Like pet me.
With the pet
me's.
And I was like, okay, so this dog is not being aggressive whatsoever.
But this was all, now mind you, this all happened in seconds. And then the guy who owns the dog runs up and he's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. And he grabs the dog and puts the leash on the dog, and we're like, we're okay, and we went back, to our motorhome.
Yeah, so at the time I was kind of like, I was a little bit like, okay, cool, no, no worries, we're good,
But your adrenaline's going.
Nobody's bleeding,
Right.
nobody's anything. I checked our two dogs, they seemed to be fine, his dog was fine. He put him on the leash, completely apologized, and walked away, and we all just kind of went our separate ways. And I was honestly, I was shocked that the dog responded the way he responded. It responded, and just completely went submissive. And which was great, because those of you guys who have had dogs or dealt with dogs, I was expecting anything.
Well, and we've been attacked by a pit bull before. When Flash is 9, Flash and Pixel are both 9 now.
Yeah.
When Flash and Pixel were puppies, we were at the dog beach, and there was a pit bull that had no collar or anything.
Yeah.
But was aggressively trying to attack us.
And that was a completely different outcome on how I had to subdue that dog.
Yeah, it was completely different. But so we went back to our RV. We took the dogs. We went back to the RV. They were fine. And then I started thinking about it, and I told Jonathan, we should go knock on this guy's door and let him know that I'm okay. And he's like, what? And I said, no, you know what? Like, because our dogs act like jerks sometimes too.
Yeah.
And it's embarrassing. And then you worry, like I'm sure the guy was worrying, like we're going to call the RV park and we're going to report him and he's going to get in trouble and it's going to be this whole big thing. And I didn't want him to worry about that the whole night long or the whole week or whatever. And I just felt bad. So we went, I felt bad. So we went, left the dogs in our RV, our dogs, and went to his RV and knocked on the door. And he answered the door, and the dog was right there at the door and was just standing there. It wasn't aggressive at all. And I said, hey, look, I just wanted you to know that I'm okay. Our dogs are okay. No hard feelings or whatever.
Yeah, and, no harm, no foul.
Yeah, like I just wanted you to know, because I understand, like our dogs act like, and he explained to us that the dog was only 4 months old. Not 4 months old. He was a puppy, and that he had him for 4 months. He had rescued him, and he had only had him for 4 months, and he was still trying to get used to, training him and stuff.
Yeah.
And sorry for the light, the sun is changing. So we just let him know, okay.
And I told him, I said, when I pinned him down, I said he completely turned over and he wanted to be pet. It felt like he wanted to be pet. He goes, oh yeah, he's just he's just a big baby. All he wants to do all day long is get pet.
Right.
So he rolls over all the time to have us pet him. And I said, yeah, I could tell that he's not aggressive.
Right.
So
we were good. So we went back to our RV, and that was it. The next day, Jonathan went to class like normal, and at some point it stopped raining again. So I took the dogs. They have a dog park that's enclosed at this at this RV park. So you can take your dogs and let them run around off leash in this little area. And I took our dogs over there, and he happened to be this guy. I can't remember his name. I'm sorry.
yeah.
But he was driving by with his dog in his truck, and he pulled up to the RV park, and he's like, hey, I just want to check on you. I didn't know which RV was yours. I wanted to come make sure you were okay. And I was like, yeah, I'm good. You know, the dogs are fine. Like, we're good. And I told him, look, we just want to let you know that last night, the reason we came back to your house was we wanted you to know that we weren't going to like report you to the RV park or any of that kind of thing. And he's like, no, I really appreciate it. He's just a puppy. And he just reiterated that.
Yeah.
And he goes, and oh, by the way, he's like, oh, by the way, I made you, and I can't really show them, but there's 2 walking sticks.
Yeah, they're actually really cool. They're completely wooden. They look like they're carved and sanded and even stained. And then this one has a leather-bound handle. I can show you guys. It's really cool.
Yeah,
the other
and then
one is just plain.
this one's taller.
Yeah.
So he's like, hey, I just wanted you to know I make these, and I made these for you guys. I'm really glad I ran into you again. And I was like, wow, that's really awesome. Like, no problem. And
I really wish we knew what the guy's name was.
I can't remember his name for the life of me. I'm horrible with names.
Because if he sells these, I would love to promote
Right.
these. These are so great. So if anybody knows someone who makes these that was staying at the Texan RV Park in the last couple weeks,
yeah, let us know.
Let us know.
Or if you're the guy and you're watching,
you, yeah,
let us know. But so, you know, I said, oh my gosh, this is great. And then when Jonathan came home that night, or came back to the RV that night after class, I showed them to him. Well, as nice as we were to him about the dog, it did turn out that I was actually more hurt than I thought.
Yeah.
So my back had some bruising, but the biggest thing is, and it's still it's been 2 weeks since we've been home almost, and my elbow, I think I have a pinched nerve in my elbow that goes down to my hand, because I had a pretty big bruise like right here on my elbow. And ever since then, my arm kind of tingles, or it goes numb, or it just hurts. So I'm actually going to call my doctor and make an appointment to have her, because I've been doing all, cold and hot and all that, and nothing's working. So I'm actually going to make a doctor's appointment and have her look at my arm and just see if I just pinched a nerve or whatever. But it's not the dog's fault.
No.
The moral of the story for us is it's not the dog's fault.
No.
He wasn't trying to be aggressive. The guy was he did it is what it is. And yes, in RV parks, there are strict rules about dogs, and you need to keep your dog on a leash, and you need to do all these things, and you should, especially if your dogs are aggressive. And it could have been a different outcome because the guy that walked out first with that little white dog before us, if that dog had gone after that dog, it would have, you could just tell, because that guy saw what happened to us, and he grabbed his dog and ran into his RV and slammed the door. It could have been a whole different outcome. That guy could have been, police could have been called. They could have been kicked out of the RV park. Who knows?
Yeah.
And we just opted to go a different route and say, look, we understand it wasn't your fault. Dogs do what they're going to do, and we're okay. And some of you might come at us for that and say we shouldn't have done that because now that dog might do it to somebody else. We've already heard that from a couple people, but
I don't think it will. Like I said, the dog was obviously. I honestly believe that the dog was not being aggressive. I think he wanted to play. I think it was a puppy, and he wanted to play. And guys, I don't want to say, oh, it's a pit bull, No, listen.
It's not about that.
It's not about the dog.
It's not about the breed of the dog.
It's not about the breed of the dog. Any dog can be aggressive. Any dog can be trained to be aggressive. Any dog can, have natural aggressive tendencies and stuff like that. It's all about how you nurture and care for your dogs. And you can get an aggressive breed to be completely docile. This dog was completely docile. He was being friendly. Once I held him down and said no, he just wanted to be pet.
He was just, Scout's a puppy. Scout's a year old, and Scout acts like that, but Scout's small.
Yeah.
So Scout jumps on other people if we let him. He'll jump on other people. He'll bark at other people.
Yeah.
He'll go bark at other dogs. But Scout's a little tiny dog.
Yeah.
So, there's a big difference in size. But
Yeah, 15 pounds versus 50 pounds.
or like 80 probably.
Yeah.
But puppies are puppies.
Yeah.
And we were happy to let this guy know that we didn't have ill will towards him and that, or his dog,
Yeah.
and it all turned out. So really, we just kind of wanted to let you guys know what happened, because it can happen to anybody in an RV park. So, obviously watch your back. And if you have your dogs, watch for other dogs. Be careful, follow the rules.
Yeah. If you have a dog that is, has a tendency to either run off or want to play with other dogs or something like that, maybe the dogs that they're going to go play with are not used to having dogs come at them to play with them, and they might show some aggression. Like, it could have been the other way. It could have been our dogs were aggressive towards him or her, and they just thinking, that this other dog is coming to attack them, and it could have been completely the other direction. So you never know. If you're in RV parks, just make sure you have a good handle on your pets.
So, in the end, I'm fine. I'll go get my arm looked at. It's going to be fine. I have no worries. It'll be fine. And, just be careful out there in RV parks, around other dogs, or anywhere around other dogs, with your dogs or without your dogs. Stay safe and just keep an eye out. So, and to the, I can't remember your name, but whoever you are, thank you for the walking sticks. They're amazing.
Yeah.
And we plan on keeping them in the RV and using them. So thank you very much for those.
Yeah, literally when Lynn took them out for this video, I was confused. I didn't know that she wanted to show them. And I was like, what are you doing with those? Leave those in there. And she said, no, I want to show them on the video. And I said, oh, okay.
So if you guys haven't subscribed already, please consider subscribing. If you have been following along on our journey, thank you for being here. Click that notification bell if you want to know every time we upload a video. And I guess that's it for this crazy video. I'll be fine. And so stay safe, stay healthy.
What is it? Oh, stay positive, test negative.
Bye.